Could you state your name and your position at THQ?
Yeah, my name is John Edwards. I'm the Senior Creative Manager for the UFC franchise.
And how long have you worked at THQ?
I've been here for about 7, 8 months.
7 months? Mm-hmm. And you've been on the project pretty much exclusively?
I've been on the project exclusively, yes.
How did you feel when you first got on the project?
Pretty excited. A lot of the guys that actually work here, lead combat designer Omar Kendall is one of my friends that I grew up with. We've worked on fighting games in the past at other studios. So I knew it was going to be, a great game just coming in. I wasn't really prepared for how good it was going to be when I first got here. Picked up the controller and I was like, wow, they've gotten all of the difficult stuff right. The ground game is very intuitive, the stand-up feels great. The core of any game is the gameplay, and for the first year, they nailed it. So I'm super excited.
Have you played any other MMA game before?
I had played, the Pride game, stuff like that, but never too jazzed on them. So just played them more casually. Didn't have the depth for me, so I just kind of I don't think they really got it right.
All right. So. Now, are you a big MMA fan or UFC or any organization?
I am a big boxing fan, big UFC fan, combat sport fan. So it was really important, I think, to make sure that they got the core experience of the UFC correct. To make sure that what's like as real as it gets. I think they nailed it. So.
Okay. So about the project, what's your favorite feature of this game that's going to be attributed?
Favorite feature? Well, I guess if you count just the core combat as a feature.
Okay.
There was a big focus this year of making sure that the game played as close to a real UFC fight as possible. All the fighter personalities, they are very reflective of actual UFC fighters. So you can play the game, you can see how people actually react on TV in a real fight. You can take that information, apply that to the actual game.
Okay.
But yeah, the core gameplay is just absolutely solid. Playing against friends, playing online against people, it really holds up.
Now, there was a rumor, we spoke about it earlier in the discussion, there was a rumor there was going to be 16 unlockable fighters in the game. Could you at least deny or confirm that?
I can't deny or confirm anything about how many characters, but we do have 80 plus fighters in the game.
Okay.
Including the 2 downloadable characters, Ryan Bader and Fran Escudero.
And will those be distributed just through GameStop, or could you download them later at a different time?
Currently exclusively through GameStop.
Okay. Which of the current fighters that are in the game are you more likely to use when you fight against your friends and family?
Oh man, probably guys like solid all-around guys.
Yep.
Anderson Silva, obviously super strong, probably pound for pound the best in the UFC right now. My personal favorite is BJ Penn. He has some exclusive feints off of his punches, off his stand-up stuff that makes him pretty powerful. And of course his amazing BJJ skills on the ground. He doesn't have really any weaknesses. Fighters like Rampage that are like just super powerful strikers, like really fun because you get in there and just like rough people up immediately, get quick KOs, which is always fun.
Of the current fighters that didn't make the game, any that you would like to see in the game in the future?
Justin Hazlett, great guy.
Got Shane Carwin's not in there.
Shane Carwin's not in there. Yeah, obviously, we need to get some of those guys in.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Yeah, a lot of up-and-comers. Tandem Corey, I think a really exciting guy. So a couple of those guys that have kind of come up in the recent years.
You got Junior
John Jones.
Junior Dos Santos.
Junior Dos Santos is another guy. So definitely some people that we can pull from for next year.
Are you guys looking at this as a perennial series, or is it going to be bi-yearly? Or
we'll see how it does, right? Obviously, we'd love to keep this thing going, make a franchise out of it. So hopefully, if the fans get behind it, it sells well, reviews well, people love it. We'd love to do that.
Now, there's the estimates from some online stat mathematicians and stuff are saying that this is projected for 2 million sales. What's your comment? Like, is that gonna be good for you guys? 2 million?
I hope so. Right. Okay. Obviously, like again, this is a million copies, right? Is like a big hit. I think that we're positioned right now pretty well as far as UFC as a sport is super big right now, right? Like the fastest growing sport in the world. There's fight nights and pay-per-views happening all the time. Every fight's exciting. I can't think of a better time really to release a UFC game. And like I said, the guys here have done an amazing job at recreating the sport. So I wouldn't be surprised if it does really well. I hope it does.
Now, how much research and data was put into the game before you guys even started development? Were you on the team at then, or?
I wasn't here at that point in time, but I have all of that stuff. all the assets, it was a lot. Right? So we have a lot of guys on the team that are actual, not only just fans, but people that actually train, right? Some designers that train, VJ and everything. So they just bring that knowledge, right to the game. And then on top of that, we've watched, every UFC. We have everything archived, and then our relationship with the UFC organization is super solid. And we talk to Joe Silva all the time about matchups and who's good at this and who's good at that. We talk to Dana White all the time. They're like really super involved with it. So there's just this great font of information coming out of the UFC organization, as well as any research that we do. So I would say that there's no limit to the amount of information we need.
Now, is the UFC exclusive for the Zuffa, or is WC included with the Zuffa agreement? Maybe.
I believe Zuffa owns all that stuff, but we are exclusively UFC.
Would you guys be looking into WC in the future, maybe?
Yeah, I would love to. I can't really comment too much on that, but yeah, obviously we would love to to do as much as we possibly can to support MMA.
All right. And how many events have you gone to recently for the UFC itself?
I've been pretty busy actually working on the game, so I haven't been to any. But we'll be going to. Or 98, I'm not sure, but we do have a plan to go out and see some fights, do some research also, but mainly just kind of unwind and enjoy ourselves since the game is wrapping up.
Now, how does the crowd go about in the game? Booing, cheering, being rowdy? Because let's just say I decide to play Leo Machida, and I play the back away fighting, and I fight against a person who's playing Anderson Silva, and he's doing the same thing, two counter fighters. Will the crowd end up booing excessively?
They'll express their displeasure in certain situations, right? So there's not a lot of action happening, things like that. The commentary from Mike and Joe will reflect that. The crowd will reflect that. There'll be some boos, stuff like that. And then conversely, if some crazy exciting stuff is going on, they'll reflect that as well.
What went in the decision of bringing in Madison Square Garden into the venue list?
It's just something that the UFC is trying to get into.
So you kind of hoping to push them along. Was it a Dana White suggestion?
It was a suggestion that came from higher than me. Let's just say.
Okay, because I know they've been trying for the last they've been trying for a while, but the last year and a half it's been like Matt Serra's coming out saying we need it in New York. Come to Jersey.
It's one of those venues, right? It's just like a classic venue for combat sports, for boxing, things like that. It's just like that's the place you want your organization to be represented.
So you went to you got Mandalay Bay, you got Red Rock, and you got the Palms, Madison Square Garden,
and UFC Gym.
UFC Gym. Any potential other ones you looked in the future, maybe, or?
Anywhere that UFC gets big and has big events, we'll definitely look for put those into the game.
What was there scouting and research done on the actual stadiums?
Yeah, people went, took pictures, photographs.
Okay.
So the UFC is really cool about that, inviting us to any event that we need to go to get any sort of reference. So our guys just go places to take all these kind of pictures, things like that. Any kind of reference video. Talk to the lighting guys that actually light the arenas, things like that. So pretty in depth.
Could you speak on the online features? Because we didn't speak about on the conference, but what online features are there going to be? It's just going to be straight up, pretty much like a deathmatch, one-on-one, and that's it. Like
currently, yeah,
no tournaments. Or?
Online is exhibition, so 1 versus 1. We do have ranked and unranked matches, right? So we have leaderboards, things like that. If you want to fight ranked matches, obviously you can fight your friends through your friends list, things like that on both Xbox and PS3.
So there's no online tournaments. There's online leaderboards, of course, but there's no tournaments. Like we could set up like a 4-person tournament, maybe.
Currently, no.
Okay. Are you able to search stats of friends, the leaderboard? Is it separated, or just one leaderboard where you can find yourself?
The leaderboards are separated from your friends list. Yeah. So there, you have your friends list or whatever that you can choose to fight whoever you want to. Then there's actually leaderboards that just show the rankings of everybody online.
Okay. Any other online features that you can speak of that?
No, that's it.
Okay. I think there's another. Well, let's conclude this. What feature match should people use when they first play the game to show all the strengths of this game?
Well, to show the strengths of the game, probably I would go into the training.
Okay.
While the stand-up is very, people can obviously draw on past experience with the stand-up, right? Fighting games, people can understand that you can see punches being thrown, see reactions like that. The ground game, while it's intuitive once you get down there, there are a lot of nuances to it, with counters and transitions and subs and things like that. It probably would benefit people to go into training mode and run through that really quickly to kind of get just the gist of it, and then I would hop right into maybe a classic fighter, an exhibition match, and just see how you stand up.
Okay, cool. Well,